USPAP page 128, Advisory Opinion 22. Under the specific conditions may appear similar to market value assignments. The result is a value to the property user, the relocation company, under that client's specific criteria and is not market value. Importance of identifying the source of a market value definition. Definitions of market value from different sources contain different conditions. Those differences can directly affect the scope of work that is necessary to develop credible assignment results. Each definition is unique, with authority only in a specific jurisdiction or to a specific client group. Therefore, identification of the source for the definition of value to be applied in an assignment is essential. The source must be consistent with the jurisdiction. Where the fuck was that? For example, using a definition of market value other than the definition specified in regulations published pursuant to Title 11 of the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery and Enforcement Act of 1989, FIREA, may invalidate that appraisal for use in a federally related transaction. Likewise, if an appraisal is prepared for use in litigation using a definition of value other than the definition specified by the court having jurisdiction over that matter being litigated, may disqualify that appraisal for use in that court. How the conditions in a market value definition affect the scope of work decision. Market value is defined in USPAP as a general concept, but in an appraisal assignment, market value is defined by a specific jurisdiction. For instance, a court, a regulatory body, or public agency with legal authority, or by a client group, for instance, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. In a market value appraisal, the appraiser's conclusions about how best to analyze the market and what data are necessary for the development of credible results must be consistent with the conditions set forth in the specific definition of market value applicable in the assignment. The definition of market value included in this advisory opinion as an example illustrates the type of conditions that might be part of a specific market value definition used in an assignment. Market value always presumes the transfer of a property as of a certain date under specific conditions. The conditions stated in market value definitions generally fall into three categories. Number one, the relationship, knowledge, and motivation of the parties. For instance, seller and buyer. Number two, the terms of sale. For instance, cash equivalent, or other terms. And number three, the conditions of sale. For instance, exposure in a competitive market for a reasonable time prior to sale. Market value appraisals focus on understanding how buyers and sellers are most likely to respond to a subject property under the conditions stated in a specific value definition. Not all market value definitions contain the same conditions, though most contain a common subset of elements. Experienced appraisers understand the nuances in the various definitions and develop their assignments using data and analysis that match the conditions required by the specific definition used in an appraisal. The knowledge referred to in a market value definition is knowledge about the property appraised, about the market for that property, and about alternatives available in the marketplace that the appraiser concludes are reasonable competition for the property appraised. An appraiser is expected to be at least as knowledgeable as the typical market participant is about the market for the type of property to be appraised. By completing research and verification steps while performing the assignment, the appraiser is expected to become as knowledgeable about the subject property and its comparables as the typical market participants. Knowledge of the subject property. Of the three areas, typical market participants are presumed to be knowledgeable about subject, market, and competition. The first area that the appraiser must address is knowledge of the subject property, which is accomplished by gathering and verifying information about the subject property. This action step may or may not require a personal inspection. In a market value assignment, the relevant characteristics, SR1-2E, are those that have a significant impact on the property's marketability. These features include legal, economic, and physical characteristics. The decision as to which characteristics are relevant cannot be made without knowledge of the market in which the property is sold. This is why competency in appraising a specific type of property and knowledge of the subject property's market are essential in an assignment.